How's it going, guys? It's time for another episode of Beyond the Field, and as all of you know, very special guest today. Probably one of the most watchable batsmen that at least I grew up watching. At least I felt that way when you watch Mahela Jayawardene bat. It was like an artist at work, and often working far too long when it came to India. In fact, I still think he can score runs against India. There used to be that joke, right? In some part of the world, some Mahela still making runs against India. So it'll be fun to have him on board today in a few minutes from now. But what are you guys up to? How are you doing? I hope everyone's keeping safe and is ready to resume some form of normalcy once lockdown restrictions are lifted. Ravdeep saying if there's a compilation of an all-time world 11 of the most elegant and stylish right-hand batsmen to watch, Mahela will be in that list for sure. Yeah, I agree. This whole thing about left-handers being very pretty, but Mahela is as good as they come, and to look at while he's batting, and that he was a right-hander did not make it any less picturesque. Rupam likes the beard. Yeah, I'm probably going to get rid of it right after this InstaLive. I think it's run its course. It's a bit in overdrive at the moment. So yeah, that's probably the last one you'll see with the beard. Manu is saying, I look tired. Am I sick of the Insta job? No, I don't think so. I quite like it. I'm enjoying talking to some people that you wouldn't otherwise get the chance to catch up with, right? I think all of you have, everyone's gone through that. They've been more in touch with friends and family perhaps during the lockdown than they ever have. So I'm delighted to have made this reacquaintance with some of these wonderful people that I worked with, like someone like Ashley Giles, who I worked with 6 years back, and caught up with him now through this. Mahela and me as well hadn't worked together since 2016, though I did meet him, as you saw on the post, at the launch of the Ministry of Crab Mumbai restaurant last year. So that was nice. So yeah, it gives you some time to catch up with some fine people. And our man is here, so let's get him on straight away so we can spare all of you watching just me, because I know who you've come to watch. Getting you on, Mahela. Give me a second. There you are. Should happen now. Hello, my friend.
Hi, how are you? Just give me 1 second. I'm trying
Good,
to see.
Mahela. I'm not sure. Yeah, you need to turn some light on.
Yeah. No, lights on, it's just the glare. How things?
Is that the very well? You tell me, but I can't get a clear picture of you. What part of your fancy house are you in right now that I can't get a clear image of Mahela? It's a bit blurry, or is
Just,
that just the internet in Colombo?
yeah, I think bit of both, I think, as well. It's just a little bit of glare coming through, and then let me see if I can get some light on.
Yeah, I'll wait.
All right. It's the best I can do.
No problem. Good enough. More than good
Found a
enough.
quiet place, so that's why. How things?
Things are very good, man. You tell me, Mahela.
Yeah, not too bad. I think everyone's trying to get used to the new normal and try and get back on track. Bit of normalcy back in Sri Lanka as well, so which is great.
Yeah.
But still, I think everyone has to be very careful of what they do and keep the discipline going.
Yeah, I'm already seeing the comments. Mahela impeccable with his timing. Joined at exactly 3 o'clock. Yeah, well, he's a man. He's quite a disciplined man. You can't associate Mahela with bad behavior. I don't think anyone ever associated Mahela through his long and illustrious career with bad behavior.
Yeah, no, I mean the thing with me is like some discipline is something that I try, and I mean it's not easy, but I think that's something that you can control. So I always feel that it's if you're given a time for someone and that is your commitment and that you need to stick to that. I mean, if you're not, then you shouldn't commit
Commit.
that.
Yeah.
So that's where everything is. I mean, I would hate someone keeping me waiting. So I guess you need to look at the same way around.
Good man, good man. It's not only about your own behavior. Normally at these Insta lives, I tend to ask whoever's joined, what's keeping you busy and what have you learned in this lockdown, and people are talking about new skills in the kitchen and cooking and baking and fun stuff at home. Here you are in this lockdown getting ministers and administrators to behave themselves. That's just a normal Mahela way of spending time.
Well, I didn't anticipate a tweet like that would go that far, but I think
Sure.
it was something that I've told myself, like, after I finish cricket, that I will make sure that certain things don't just happen in at Sri Lankan cricket, in the sense that it's our responsibility. We were part of that, and cricket has given us so much, and it's our responsibility to give it back in the right way, in a positive manner. So when I saw that, it wasn't the need of the hour, and that's where I voiced my concern, and quite a few other people joined
Yeah.
along and managed to change the course of a decision so far. But you'll never know, what's going to happen going
Yeah.
forward.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
that
other than that, during the quarantine period, I was pretty much like everyone else, lockdown, and uh, got involved in a little bit of fitness, little bit of stuff, and nothing much generally, and trying to see how you balance things after COVID. And I think that the key word would be patience during this
true.
period of time. I think everyone had to, really sit down and think how you're going to come out of the other side, the businesses, various other things, livelihoods of other people, all that matters, and try and see how you can contribute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about those things, especially how restaurants are going to be back, because I know you're that's your thing as well, right? And I can't wait to go and eat there. By the way, I still haven't got I haven't received an invitation to eat at Ministry of Crab, and I can't find myself to get a reservation because it's got what, before the COVID world, it had 3 weeks of waiting or something like that. So hopefully, Myla, you'll extend a kind invitation to me, even though I'm not as fancy as some of the other people that you get along with in Mumbai.
Well, no, I'll definitely talk to the partners in Mumbai and see what I can do. Yeah, I
See,
mean, the restaurant, I mean, we just opened our Colombo branch last week. So hopefully, just a slow start, and then, try and get back to things. I'm optimistic. I think, it'll take at least 6 months for
yeah,
all those
sure.
things to have a minimum. The positive is we have a franchise in Shanghai, in China. They've opened 1st of April, and for the last 2 months they've done really well. So I'm hoping that that'll be the trend for the rest of the um, places as well. It just, you have
Yeah.
to give it time for people to settle down and try and work themselves back into a bit of normal lifestyles. But yeah, I think, like I earlier said, it's patience. It's just grinding
Sure.
it through, and look at different ways of doing business. I think, I mean, we had a taxi service in Sri Lanka which had invested, and during the lockdown period and all that, everything was shut down.
Hmm.
So to completely convert that into a food delivery thing, in that scenario, and it worked to a certain extent. I mean,
Yeah.
it's better for them to be on the road and try and contribute,
Sure.
and that was a business opportunity that arrived, and you change. So it's like that, you I mean, there's always going to be an opportunity, um, to see how best you can manage the
Yeah.
situation, and that keep looking at.
Yeah. It's forced us to innovate, right? You've got to almost find ways to still be relevant, still make the best of what you can in these times. So I guess that's across industries. I mean, it's shifted the entire cricket media spectrum to Instagram. And that makes me worry a little bit because all of a sudden, after this lockdown, people won't need a platform. They may not need Cricket Info. They may not need channels because everyone's now become an anchor and a host, and everyone's become a medium in themselves. So I'm a little worried about that. But let's not get too deep into it. What I do want to talk to you about, even though my the idea was to just keep it light, one thing I really want to talk to you, and since we spoke of it at the start, and you said how you felt like it's important that you speak out on issues that matter, and the stadium thing is just a recent example of how change was affected, and at least it looks like it was affected immediately. But I genuinely don't think cricket does enough of that, or cricketers do enough of that. I think it's so wonderful that you and even Sangha to a large degree just say it as it is. It shouldn't be that hard. And I see sportsmen from around the world, when there is an issue that needs to be spoken about, they tend to do it. But I don't see as much of it in cricket. So I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think like cricket can learn a lot from you. Cricketers can learn a lot from you.
Well, I mean, it all depends. I think you have an opportunity to influence.
Yeah.
How you influence is entirely up to you. It's a responsible way of doing things, and I mean, I'm a firm believer that you can't like keep jumping on each and every subject and have an opinion. It's certain things that you feel that it needs a voice, like anyone else, like a normal person. But as a sportsman, you have an added advantage. There is a base where there's a platform which is catered to you to do that, and people will obviously, as long as you're doing it in the right way. I mean, there's a lot of support, and then you can obviously influence certain decision makers, whether it's at a sporting level or even at a further level, which you can do. So yeah, I mean, I've always felt that if since I've got that kind of an opportunity, I might as well use
Yeah.
it in a positive manner. It doesn't only relate to cricket or sports, but I have voiced my concerns on various other
Sure.
social issues in Sri Lanka, and I've you know got involved with other people in raising the same things, and try and contribute in a positive manner, because I think it's our responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I've seen a lot of other cricketers have done similar things around the world, and voice concern. And I guess, in different countries, the platforms are different, and obviously, how things can be done is different. So you have to, can't compare individuals like that. But I think
Yeah.
as long as as long as you're uh, putting a very positive outlook to what you're doing, through your platform, through um, your ability to influence. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, how I wish you were Indian, Mahela. And that's not just not just right now, but when you played, I think most of us wished you were Indian because you took a real fancy to India. I mean, there's this thing, right, that in some part of the world, Mahela Jayawardene is still scoring runs against India, and maybe today you might still be able to do it. You never know. But at least you're a Mumbai Indian, if not an Indian. So there are plenty of questions already on that as I scroll through them. First one's from Aditya. Mahela, are you missing the IPL? I know we are, but I wonder if you're actually missing it or you don't mind the downtime because the IPL is going to be back sooner or later. So you don't mind a
No,
bit of a break.
no, I think you are, because for me, I'm not a person who's involved throughout the year in cricket. So that was my outlet, like for me
Yeah.
to get back to cricket, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. I mean, it's great. It's not easy. It's a very um, you know intense 8 weeks that we get involved with the IPL. But I really enjoy that. It's a great challenge, and it's a different atmosphere altogether. And I definitely missed it, but under the circumstances, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
In the downtime, I think everyone enjoy this period where you're in a place where no one can travel, and you get spend your time with the family, and just that quality time was good. But hopefully, I mean, live cricket, live sports generally, it's slowly getting back into
Yeah.
the system, and everyone's looking forward to it. I'm sure all the cricket fans are looking forward to the IPL or international cricket to get back on stage, so that they can enjoy that. I mean, I've been involved with the IPL for such a long time as a player. Obviously, the last 3 years as a coach, and I'm absolutely loving it.
What's going to happen though as a coach once things resume? I had this chat with Rahul when we started this on Instagram, and he said there are some young batsmen that are actually messaging him, "Am I going to forget how to bat? Not being in the nets for this long." And Rahul laughed about it. He said, "No, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe you'll be a bit rusty, but this is going to probably test you as a coach as well. How coach is going to reinitiate people back into cricket after being out cold for what, couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, with especially with MI, we had couple of interactions with the guys who are in our squad. In between, just make sure that they are on top of their stuff, whatever they can do from home, and just to get them mentally prepared. If you had to start in a say, few months time or whatever, just to see how they're doing, what they're doing, whatever the concerns they had. But none of our guys had those kind of concerns about cricket skills. But I think naturally
Yeah.
everyone will be a bit rusty, get back on. But I think before you start any um, competitive cricket, you will have some prep time for all the guys to get back into the nets and improve their skills. But I think generally the positive thing is that all the cricketers, all the sportsmen, women around the world had this period where they could actually recuperate
Yeah.
themselves. If they had niggles or if they needed some mental, freshness
Sure.
to sink in, I think this was brilliant for everybody. Just give your body a break and come back in a much stronger and a positive way. So I see it that way.
Hmm.
That's a message that we were giving to a lot of the guys as well. It's a great downtime for everyone to mentally just relax and not think about sport and competitive sport.
Yeah.
Uh, then come back strongly when the time was right. So, like I agree with Rahul, your cricketing skills is not going to go away. Oh, that, just you be a bit rusty, but I'm sure you can get
Yeah.
rid of the
Find a way.
concerns back on the park.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we do have an IPL later in the year, at least we'll have better weather. Or let's say better is relative. It'll be less torrentially hot. But no, I mean, like, I'm looking forward to it. The other discussion in cricket now is how it resumes, and there's this conversation that we've already started this exercise of potentially seeing two teams play simultaneously. I think England made the first noise. They don't rule it out. We could have a Test team and a T20I team play in two different parts of the world on the same day. And we did that exercise for Australia and India, and we felt okay, you can actually pick two independent teams of significant international quality. But is that realistic across the board now? Can you do that for Sri Lanka? Can you pick two concurrent teams for Sri Lanka or for Bangladesh or for New Zealand? Do you think it's practical at
I,
all?
no, I don't think it's practical.
Hmm.
I mean, playing for your country, you need to try and put out the best team possible for any format. So I think going forward consistently, it's going to be very tough. How do you gauge what importance do you give to a certain format of the tournament? So I think practically it's not viable. I mean, you can put teams, yes, you can pick names and
Hmm.
whoever's for one day team and a T20, you can do that. But I don't think that's fans would want to see. They want to see the best players playing those formats consistently. Yes, I mean the new normal is going to be different. You will have lesser tournaments in the next 12 months, less competitive cricket, but whatever the competitive cricket that you would get should be competitive enough
Yeah.
and be viable enough for everyone to get involved. I think that's the way forward. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we have to take one day at a time and make those
Yeah.
calls, rather than jumping on the thing. It shouldn't be. It's something that we just look at the product in a very productive way, and then see how that can be,
Yeah.
keep evolving in the next 12 months or next 24 months.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find some form of normalcy back, in a world post-COVID sooner or later. And it's nice that we'll actually have live sport back or proper live sport back next in a couple of weeks. The Premier League returns. So I'll just drift away from cricket for a moment because I did put this in the post as well. I've always enjoyed talking cricket with you, Mahela, in the little time that we work together because it's so simple, straightforward. The personalities, so genuine and honest. And I just can't get myself to come to terms with the fact that you're still a Man United fan, in spite of all that. All those wonderful qualities. You should have been an Arsenal fan, Myla, and then life would have been perfect.
Now, it's not that bad to be a Man United fan. I know how tough it is to be an Arsenal fan for the last 20 years. So But one good thing is that to be honest, I think even for Liverpool, even though I'm not there's a big rivalry, but I think
Yeah.
you do feel for Liverpool like you need them to win the Premier League properly. I think they were hands down the best team in the comp, and they fully deserve to win it properly rather than under these circumstances. So it's good that Premier League is back. I know Bundesliga has been back for
Yeah.
the last weeks or so. It's been good. We get rugby now getting back on track in New Zealand and Australia. So little by little, I think live sports will come through. I mean, it's great for guys like us, who loves sports and
Yeah.
watch live sports and enjoy the skills of different individuals.
All right, I'm going to take some questions that came through now. You're still being nice to Liverpool. I'll be very happy if they just scrap the season and say null and void and start over again. That's the kind of stuff that keeps us going. But you're a bigger man than I am, Mahela. But anyway, let me take some questions now, shall we? Let's take the first one. Rabdeep sent this through on Instagram. You retired from Test cricket, one short of 150 tests and just a few notches of averaging 50. Wasn't there an inclination to play one more test or even complete both those tasks?
No, not really. I think if I was a guy who was big on numbers, I probably wouldn't have played for the right reasons. I played because I love the game. I really passionately enjoyed the competitive nature of it, and for me, it was about performing to the best of my ability and then winning matches for my country. So beyond and above that, I mean, whatever the numbers which is under my name is something that it's been there. It's not that I wouldn't say that it does drive you when you're a youngster. I had these targets saying that I need to get to these numbers, get to these numbers. It was a self motivation for me to make sure that because I knew that if I play like that, it's always going to be beneficial for the team. But the time was right for me to say that's it, and it was a decision that I myself had to take, considering where I was in my career and what I wanted to do afterwards. And I thought that was the right call, so I could finish everything before the last World Cup, which I took part in. So then that was it for me. I mean, I didn't have to really come. I still played cricket. I still played county cricket, played the T20 league so that I could slowly tape off my cricketing adrenaline, but I didn't want to just play international cricket for the sake of playing it. So that was the decision, and I have no regrets. Whether I had 50 average or whether I played 150. I think 149 is a big number, and played for such a long time. And I was fortunate that I didn't have any serious injuries or anything like that to attend with as well. So I was very fortunate.
Yeah, well, when I said earlier, I wish you were Indian. Had you been Indian, you would have played that 150th. And you would have got that. That I can guarantee you. But anyway, this is from Srijit. Goes back to South Africa, the game in 2006 at the SSC. Did you ever feel that you guys would remain unbroken for this long as that partnership kept evolving of what, 620, 22 or 24? And do you think the way Test cricket is played today that could be broken anytime soon? And if you had to pick a pair to bat that long today, who'd you pick? It's an interesting
Sorry, I missed all that. Can you just?
So it's going back to the partnership with you and Sangha against South Africa in 2006. And Srijit's asking, do you think that in today's times, could you pick a pair that could bat that long and perhaps even break that partnership with the way Test cricket is today?
No, I think the way Test cricket is being played, there are a lot of cricketers who can actually do it in much faster time as well. It's not about batting. I think Sangha and I took at least couple of days to do that, but I think the modern day cricketers, if they really get settled and have a good partnership, they probably can do that in about in 5-6 sessions maximum, because they do score much faster, and the game has evolved since 2006 when we broke that record. So I mean, there are many players who could do that, but a lot of things had to come into tuition to do that. Both guys have to make sure they have that little bit of discipline to go that all the way, and you know, a lot of things have to come into play. End of the day, it was, even though it was a individual milestone, we still ended up winning the test match as well,
Yeah.
within a 4.5 day time. So, like, any captain, any coach would want that to happen as well. You know, you don't want to have a stale test match. So a lot of things have to come into play, but I'm pretty confident that there are enough and more players out there in modern day who could easily do that.
So this is from Omlal Mehta on Twitter. Now he's seen the Mumbai Indians documentary on Netflix, which I admittedly haven't. Maybe that is something I should see, actually, given the amount of time I have. I should watch everything. But he says, how does Mahela manage the stress of the expectations in the IPL from owners and the franchise, and yet keep the balance between successful performance and retain his own sanity? Okay, all yours.
Well, I think in that documentary, a lot of things shows, you know, what goes behind the scene. All seasons are not like that. Like, obviously that season was very good, that people got to see a lot of emotional highs and lows of the Mumbai Indians camp, because, you know, we were so close to getting into the playoffs. We just lost our last game, and we didn't. Had a really bad start to the season, and we had a really good comeback by the boys. So yes, I think performances at that level, there is a pressure, but I've always was something that I always advocate to the team, is that the expectations is pressure. The more expectations that we put ourselves in under, the more pressure that we have. So end of the day, it's a beautiful game of cricket. So we just have to concentrate on that. And everyone's very skillful. Everyone's got talent. Everyone is there because of their skills and their talent. And we just need to enjoy and go and express ourselves. Some seasons, yes, we will have ups and downs, but it's not the end of the world. So that was the season that we couldn't win the trophy, and either side of that, we won the trophy. So it gives you a little bit of perspective, you know, that how competitive this squad is, you know, that, you know, the emotions and all that during that season. The franchise, the owners, I mean, they're brilliant. I mean, for me, I see them as, yes, they're involved in the team, and why shouldn't you be? I mean, it's your team, and we are all part of a squad. So the owners are also part of that, and I see that in a very positive way, because they always want us to do well. I mean, but they do understand that it's a game, and at the same time that, you know, we might not perform to our potential. And I think that is the balance that we try and manage. But I think it's a very enjoyable setup that we have there, and that winning mentality is there, the culture is there. We're trying to create more uniqueness to the unit. You know, we have a lot of cool players that we've kept for such a long time, so they feel went through Mumbai, and everyone else who comes into that setup feels that they're part of that Mumbai culture. So especially when you're playing franchise cricket, that's important, because when you're playing for your country, that naturally comes in, because you're you know,
your motivation is different. Sure.
Anyway, there you're playing for billion. Like, if you take India, you're playing for billion people. But when you're Mumbai Indians, yes, we have the Mumbai support. Then we have the support of other people from other countries. You know, it's franchise. It's like, you know, Man United. Like, I support Man United. You support Arsenal. So you need to understand that ethos as well, and then the guys have to buy into that, and to say, I'm part of this, and that's where the fan base is. That's what you're trying to play for. So to create that, you know, it's important that everyone understand who you're playing for and what are you playing for. So that's something that we try to create within the team. And I mean, like I said, you know, that is my cricketing outlet. For 12 months, I probably get involved in one or two other tournaments. So I thoroughly enjoy when I come into that environment. And it's not a pressure cooker for me. I really enjoy the challenge, and I try and do my best. And try and contribute as much as I can as a coach. And I've enjoyed it, so I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions on whether Mahela is superstitious. I don't know if that's got something to do with the way Mumbai Indians win their IPLs. Because you'd be happy that if there's no IPL this year and we directly resume in 2021, then you've got
No,
the synchronization maintained, right?
no, but I think, I mean, if I would have started this IPL, I mean, that would have been my theme for the year. I mean, I've experienced that odd year thing as well, so that would be the challenge that I would throw at the boys. That would be a decent challenge for us to see whether we can break these strings.
Yeah.
And because end of the day, we are guaranteed the odd win. So why do we, try whether we can do the even one as well? So that's how you look at it, I guess.
On a lighter note, Adi says Mahela in a sauna. It looks like the camera is steamy. I'm sure Mahela would have a sauna in his house if he wanted one, but I don't think that's where he's joining us from.
I honestly don't know why the pictures are probably to do with the internet, I guess. I'm sorry.
No, it's gotten better and better. Don't worry about it. And it's much better than what Rahul was on. If you ever managed to watch that, was a technological disaster. I had to hold my laptop up on Skype and get Rahul on the top part of the window, and the audio came through the bottom part. So, I mean, he's a proper dinosaur. He's not even on WhatsApp. So, you are miles ahead, Mahela. I'll take this any day of the week. The other thing that, a nice question that came a little while back was how Malinga went from legendary MI player to support staff member and then back to player last year, and what that discussion or transition was like. Because it was quite an amazing story that Mali could still be as impactful as he was when he came back last year.
Yeah, I think because he was coming back from injuries, that was one season that everyone had doubt, and obviously, but we didn't want to lose out on him because he's been such an icon for Mumbai Indians over the years, and we thought like him being in that mentor role, being part of the group, will help, and it definitely helped. Like Boom works really well with Mali on tactical stuff. They have a very good together. That season we had Fizz with us as well, Fizur, and a couple of new other bowlers as well. So it was important that Mali was there to be with them. And then the next season, when he was back again playing for Sri Lanka, his fitness was much better. I know, the other franchises didn't even bid for him, but we were quite happy to have someone with that kind of experience. Even if he doesn't play a key role, he still can contribute in certain situations for us, and he very much proved at the back end. He didn't play the entire season for us, but I mean, that's what we try and build on his experience, not just Mali, but with other people as well. Because in tough situations, the experienced guys do know how to handle that, and that shows the pathway to the rest of the boys. How you need to do things. So we try and have that kind of combination or squad balance where we get experience, we get some vibrant young talent who we can throw out and say just go and enjoy, where the experience, the senior lot takes more responsibility.
Brilliant. Mahela, it's time for the last bit of this chat, which is a rapid fire that I devise and conceptualize. It's easy. You just have to say the first thing that comes to your mind, which I think would come to you naturally anyway. I assume it'll be rapid and fiery, and I hope your internet is good for the next few minutes. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's see.
Fire away. Mahela, if you weren't a cricketer, what do you think you would have been?
Banker, because I've worked in a bank for 10 years. I don't know.
Okay. If you had to pick one cricketer to spend the lockdown with, who do you pick?
No, none of them.
You've had enough of cricketers. Okay. One food item you cannot get enough of.
Just simple, plain Sri Lankan food, just the rice and curries.
All right. The best film or web series you've seen of late?
Last Dance.
Yeah, very good. Best captain you played under?
That's a bit of a toughie.
This could be international or otherwise.
Yeah, no, I know that. the guy who I learned
Yeah.
quite a bit was Arjuna when I joined the
Sure.
team. So I would probably put him in down that category where
Okay.
I've learned tough and to be thoughtful in
Fiercely
that.
competitive. Yeah. Sure. All right. Biggest influence on your cricket career?
I think my father, because he wasn't such a critical person. He was critical in some ways, but he wasn't one of those guys who would like really drive you mad. So I think because he's the one who I was always go back and have a honest conversation on my
Sure.
performance, stuff like that. So I had a lot of people who would influence me, coaches, ex-players, teammates who had influenced a lot on me. But like from the day I been able to hold a bat and until the day I finished, I mean, he was
Brilliant.
part of that. So I guess he's the guy.
Sounds good. Smartest cricketing brain, according to you?
And I've had a lot of amazing cricketing brains who I played against. It would be very bad if I just pick one, though.
Pick a
Very
couple
bad.
if you want, but the first name that comes to mind, just when you spoke to this guy, like, oh, that's he gets the game.
Well, I think Flem is one who I
Sure.
admire
Yeah.
because of limited resources that they had. He really built a really good setup in New Zealand. I think Warney was another one. Well, that he understood a lot of things, and currently I would say that the guy I played against would be MS. MS was quite smart in how we went about doing things and handling things, and the way he handled certain individual players. It was something good.
Brilliant. Who has the best sense of humor in cricket, according to you?
Oh. Tough one that.
The one character that always sort of put a smile on your face, if you can think of one.
Well, I've had a lot of guys in dressing rooms who are brilliant, but I think one guy, whether you hate him or you like him, is Murali.
Yeah.
He's one individual that you would love to have in your team, but for me he's a great guy to have in the dressing room as well, but not a dull moment when he's around.
Brilliant. One holiday destination you can keep visiting again and again.
I love New Zealand.
Okay. One current day batsman you would have loved to bat alongside.
I know. I would pick Stokes.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that would be fun. One innings you remember more fondly than others.
One innings.
There are too many good ones. If you want, you can leave this one. Unless
No,
there is one memory, one innings that really is close to the heart.
I'm trying to see sarcastically what would be a better knock. Where I made a complete fool of myself and then probably still, made out on the other side of the tunnel. Probably there were some career defining knocks for me.
Sure.
But then there was this double hundred I got against India. I remember.
Yeah.
But I'm with India. It's just that Asian Test Championships or something.
But
I've given like at least 4 or 5 chances in that game, and I was quite lucky that I got there. But it actually helped the team to try and pull off something special. But we couldn't. I mean, India batted really well. We just couldn't. But for me, it was like, that's how I tell guys, your knocks haven't had to be perfect, but it's just that you just have to run through those emotions and ride your luck a little bit. And given an opportunity, you need to, because as a batsman, you always make one little mistake, you're out, or
Sure.
a bowler bowls a brilliant ball, you're out. there's no comeback. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I like it. I like the choice. I like the way you've thought of this. All right, next one. One sportsman from another sport that you'd love to meet someday.
Um, for me, it's toss up between Tiger and Roger Federer.
All right. Toughest bowler you ever faced?
For me, initially when I started, he was at his end of his career as well, but it still was special. Was Wasim Akram.
Okay. Time to pick. Batting with Sanath or batting with Sangha?
Sangha is much easier.
Touring
I
England
get
or
I get the strike as well. Right.
touring England or touring Australia? What was more fun?
I've enjoyed England. Just I don't know, something special about England.
All right. Playing in the IPL or coaching in the IPL? What's more challenging?
I think playing was much more challenging, to be honest, because performances, representing a franchise, and all that. I think coaching, you're always behind the scene. You're trying to help the guys and try and get what needs to be done behind the scenes. So as long as you know what's in control, it's easier.
Okay. Golf or football?
Football to watch and golf to play.
Sure. Smith or Kohli?
Tough one. I'll pick Kohli.
Okay. Complete the following ifs. If Mahela Jayawardene was put in charge of the ICC, his first decision would be to take his time, perhaps, and
Yeah,
think of what he needs to do.
tough job. I feel for the guy whoever takes it, but for me, I think try and create some equality among the setup and uniformity a bit more
Sure.
at a structural point of view, and see how best we can develop. Because end of the day, you need all the teams to compete at the highest level for the to grow. So that's the most important thing.
Brilliant. If Mahela Jayawardene was made Manchester United manager, his first decision would be
to sign at least couple of good midfielders and few defenders.
Yeah. Yeah. That's half the team essentially, but yeah, I know what every manager needs to change things up. Okay, if you could change the result of one match from the past, which one would you pick?
Oh, I've been in 5 World Cup finals and won one. Even if I had to change 1 or 2, I'm happy.
All right, fair enough. First thing that comes to mind when I say the IPL?
Entertainment.
Mumbai Indians.
Competitive.
Paul Pogba.
Talented.
Kumar Sangakkara.
A good guy.
Ministry of Crab.
Fabulous.
Lasith Malinga.
Genuine.
The 2014 World T20 final.
Brilliant.
The 2011 World Cup final.
Still brilliant.
Yeah. Muttiah Muralitharan.
Exotic.
That's a classic. Manchester City.
How do I say this?
Give it your best sledge, Mahela. Come on.
Brutal.
All right. Stats and data in cricket.
Important. But depends how you use it.
Sure. Cricket 4.
What do you say? Important.
Yeah, sure. And lastly, me. I am Raunak Kapoor, and I want to know what you think about me.
I couldn't even get your name at the beginning, remember? Like
Yeah,
I was struggling to remember that. Yeah. Um, Pain?
Pain.
Yes.
Thank you. A sweet pain. You know, Chappelli said the exact same thing. He called me a pain in the ass, but he said I'm an enjoyable pain in the ass. That's what
And
Chappelli said. It was my greatest crowning glory.
it's quite easy.
And yet you couldn't get my name, and I remember I still remember that I could get I tried to seduce you into getting my name by using your full name a couple of times. So Denagamage, Prabhota, Mahela De Silva, Jayawardene, thank you very
Very close,
much.
not perfect. Yeah.
This has been good fun, Mahela. I'm delighted you could take the time. So thank you so much, and take care. And hope to see you back on the field soon with the Mumbai Indians. And take care, Mahela.
Yeah. Pleasure to be on the thing. Thanks. It was nice, and stay safe. And all the people who are watching, stay safe, and hopefully, we can get back on the field.
Brilliant. Do take care, Mahela. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry if I couldn't take all the questions. Mr. Kalra is with us, who's enjoying this. Yes, he did get yours. Yours is an easy name, sir, common name, no? That's why. Anyway, that was good fun, and I'm glad that Maila's internet was just about okay from start to finish. But kudos to him for taking the time, and wonderful to hear his thoughts. He always speaks simply and just is so straightforward with his views on anything. So that was great fun. The entire episode will stay on IGTV now, and I'll also upload it on YouTube before the end of the night. And we're going to have a couple more coming up in the week. So Michael Bevin should be up next sometime in this week. I'll put out the post, and hope to have you for that one as well. And like Mahela said, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again for these soon. Bye-bye.